let's just put some of the stats into this here. It shows, this is the government's own figures, the Department for Communities and Local Government. These figures show that seasonally adjusted average prices are unchanged across the UK in June. The annual rate of increase to 9.9% from 10.6% in May. UK house prices rose by 0.8% in the quarter to June 2010 compared to an increase of 2.8% in the March quarter. So those are the government's figures. This is the RICS, the Royal Institute of Chartered Surveyors, that are basically saying there's been a slight drop for 1 month last month. Here's Nick with the travel. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you, Stephen.
Your man could talk, couldn't he?
I think he spoke more in the last half hour than you did, didn't he?
And that's a big...
It's quite a claim.
Yes.
I feel almost bad taking up more of your time. Southbound M42 is shut between Junction 2 and the M5 into...
28 minutes past 11. Here's Ben in Derby. It's not your real name. Morning to you, Ben.
Good morning, Stephen.
Good morning to you. I'm doing all right. Now, you're withholding your name because you got a really good deal on your house last night. Is that right?
Yeah, 25,000 over asking price.
Wow.
And it's gone to the solicitors as well. It's the right house in the right area.
God forbid, Ben. God forbid anybody's going to recognise your voice. The person that bought your house, it's in the solicitor. We need to get it signed quick before they recognise your voice, mate. 25 grand.
Absolutely no problem, because there's another two couples waiting. If it fell through, and it won't fall through, it's gone to solicitors. It's all been checked out. First day, I had 8 people round. 24 hours later, I had 13 people round, and I've had phone calls virtually every day.
Where is this in the country?
I'm saying it's in Derby, but I'll give you a clue. It's in a very nice area. It's a Victorian terraced house. It overlooks a park, and it's an absolutely fantastic home for somebody. It needs slight modernisation. It was priced correctly. It wasn't given away. It was priced correctly. And I'll tell you, the people who came to look at it were actually young couples whose parents were helping them out with a bit of money.
So you've no doubt been listening with interest to the programme this morning.
Yeah.
What's your instinct? We've had a lot of doom and gloom today. We've had a lot of people saying there could be massive price decreases ahead.
No. I'd like them to come really down for my own children, but realistically, there's too many people got too much invested in bricks and mortar in this country. And why put your money into stocks and shares? They're not safe. Into pension funds, they're not safe. Buy a car, you lose 10-20% as soon as you buy it. I mean, what's up with where houses are going?
And how much roughly was your house, Ben? That's 25 grand on what of an asking price?
It was valued by 2 separate agents at 175,000. I took 200,000.
Say again, Ben, sorry?
They were valued by 2 different agents, and they valued that I'd get 175,000.
Okay.
I got 200,000.
All right. Well, good on you, Ben. Thank you for calling us this morning. Let's find out what the weather's like. Morning, Dan.
Good morning, Stephen. It's not just house prices that are going down. Temperatures are going down as well. It's only 11 degrees in Glasgow right now because of all the rain that...
Thank you very much. 11:45. The time. Back to house prices now. The Royal Institute of Chartered Surveyors has... Their latest survey has shown that prices fell for the first month last month in a year. Don't forget we had the emergency budget, of course, in June. That might have something to do with it. You're calling us from all over the country this morning, telling us the situation you're in. It'll help us get a sense of what it's like throughout the UK. Surprising for me that we're finding so many of you saying that you have got your house sold above the asking price recently. 0500 909 693. Sue in Sheffield. Morning, Sue.
Good morning.
You're not one of them.
No, I'm afraid we're not. No, we're just about to take the house off the market after a year. We've not had any negative comment whatsoever. It's in a good part of Sheffield. And the only thing really that we're wanting to do is just downsize. We're both retired now, my husband and I. And basically that's all we want to do. We want to sell the house and just get something a little bit smaller.
Yeah, and of course until a couple of years ago, Sue, you would have, I was going to say brainwashed there, and a lot of people would take exception to that, but there would have been a strong steer to someone of your age that the house was there for your retirement, and if you wanted to downsize, you could release equity and that would fund your retirement, etc., etc. These were the messages that were being pushed out.
That's right, yes. We lived here 13 years, and 13 years ago we thought, well, when we retire, we'll get something smaller, move out slightly to a more rural area, and everything would be fine. We thought we'd be able to do that, but the market is just absolutely at a standstill for us.
What's your house on at, say?
It's on at the minute at 190. It was on at 190, but we've now reduced it 5,000 to 185. The last 6 weeks we haven't had a single viewer.
But with respect, 185 from 190 to 185 isn't going to make a jot of a difference, is it? To attract someone to a house, if it's on at 190 and you're not getting viewers, it's got to be a substantial decrease these days, doesn't it?
Well, I know, but we're not prepared to do that.
Yeah.
As I say, it's in a nice area. It's a modern house. We've looked after it. We've maintained it well throughout the years. It's got good schools and everything that families would probably want. And we're not prepared to lose any more money on it. We've decided to stay put and spend the money on having a decent retirement.
But because you've had lots of viewers and no offers, that would suggest you're pricing your property above the market.
Well, I think you could say that, but
I'm not telling you what you want to hear this morning, Sue, am I? But
pardon?
I'm not saying what you want to hear this morning.
No, you're not. No, I mean, we've had quite a few evaluations, and we didn't take the highest valuation. We took the middle one. So we feel that it's priced adequately for the area and for what it is.
Well, it's below the average house price. The average house price throughout the UK, I think, was 220 odd grand. I think it was 224.
Yeah.
Something like that. Your property's on at 185.
Yeah.
Do you know what the average deposit is that a person now needs for a house? It's now 36,000 quid.
36,000. That's incredible. Yeah. I mean, we wouldn't have to take a mortgage out. If we bought a house, it would be a cash sale. Obviously, if it was more than we wanted to buy. I mean, can I just say that the state of the houses that some people present to you are absolutely shocking. I can't understand people who put their houses on the market and they don't really present them very well. This is what we found. We've viewed loads of houses, and the state that they present them in, I don't think it does them any good, really, in selling the houses.
You'll certainly not get away with it in this market. So thank you for your call this morning. We'll head up to Portsmouth in a second, then Norfolk and Chelmsford. 0500 909 693. Let's get a sense what the UK property market is like on the ground this morning. We're hearing lots of the stats. Let's hear from you after Nick.
Thank you, Stephen. The southbound M42 has now been closed for 6.5